Hello, so I'm just setting everything up so that I can see your comments here. Oh, there we go. I can see myself. I need to enlarge it a little bit and then go like that. Okay. So, hello friends. Welcome to the live stream. So today I am going to carry on working on, let me show you, tilt you down straight away so that you can see what we're doing. So today we're going to carry on working on my phone. There we go. Right, so today we're going to carry on working on these mini chest of drawers. So I started working on them on my YouTube channel this past Monday. So if you want to see like how the rest of it was done, then you can go onto my YouTube channel and have a look. Other than that, so today I'm kind of working on the side, so adding the transfers. So here's the transfer that I already added onto this side, and then stamps. I'm adding stamps over the front drawers. So these white bits with the numbers and the little line. And so as you can see, I have not done the other side yet. I think I need to tilt you a little bit lower like that. So I have not done this side yet, so we're gonna do it together. And yeah, so I'm just gonna carry on, get started, and then talk you through kind of what I'm doing. So the first thing is I'm going to tilt this on the side because it's easier to work, to apply the transfer when it's kind of sideways like this. So this is the transfer that I'm using. It's called Industrial Mechanics from Redesign with Prima. And so as you can see here on the picture, it comes in 3 parts. So it comes in 3 sheets like this so that they can fit in. And then you can stack them together, and then you can get one big picture if you want to, or you can do what I'm doing right now. And so I've used one of these sheets and I've applied one part of it on one side, and this part on I'm gonna apply this part on the other side. So I decided to make this these little mini drawers in a more of a industrial style, if you will. I don't know, like I don't really usually work on these kind of things, and I don't usually do industrial style, so it's nice to change things up a little bit. Hello Claire, oh thank you. Hi Eileen, hi Nancy, hello, how are you? How are you ladies doing today? Okay, so the transfer is here, so I'm happy with the width of it, the way that it is. And then as you can see, I'm going to have a little bit of like an overhang here. I'm probably, I don't know which side I should use. I'm probably just going to go kind of smack bang in the middle, and then I'm going to have a little leftover bits, but I'm just going to apply the whole thing over. But of course, if you wanted to like save these bits, you could measure it out precisely and then apply it on properly. Hi Sheila, how are you? So, I've got my Redesign transfer tool, and I'm going to, this is the tricky bit where we're going to have to like center it. So I peel away the white protective film, which protects the sticky parts of the transfer from, you know, sticking together and all that. So, and then I'm going to stand on my tippy toes because I am short, and kind of hover it over and find a good placement for it. Find the placement that I'm happy with and try and keep it straight. As straight as I possibly can, right? So I think I'm happy with this. Well, we'll just have to go with it now, won't we? And so I've kind of placed it lightly, and now I'm gonna use my transfer tool to kind of slide it on, and then we're gonna burnish it together. So I'm gonna start doing this, and then I'm gonna talk you through kind of what I did to the rest of the drawers. In case if you didn't see my my live stream that I did on my YouTube channel, which if you're not subscribed or anything and you would like to be, then my YouTube channel is Dainty Gifts. So I'm just gonna use the transfer tool to basically do this, and then to, as you can see, I've got overhang here, so instead of cutting it, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my transfer tool and kind of burnish the edges quite hard. And the transfer itself is very, very thin, so when you do this, it basically kind of cuts it to size, and then once we've taken off the transfer and everything, we'll make it a little bit more precise, a little bit neater with a little bit of sandpaper or something like that. Hi Nelly, how are you? How are you? So I'm going to basically do this, and oh, see, this is a tricky part where it's like the edges are a bit slidey. Right, so to talk you through kind of what I've done to this little mini chest is, so I've used acrylic paints to create like a acrylic stain, and I stained the sides and the top and the drawers and everything, and then I painted the front drawers. We'll focus on them a little bit later, but I painted the checkered design on the front half of the front of the drawers, and then we're gonna stamp them later. And then before this live stream, a couple of hours beforehand, I also varnished everything. Just applied one coat of water-based varnish over the top of everything, just so that it's a little bit more protected before we go ahead and apply the transfers and do all of that. Plus I'm gonna be using wax, dark wax straight away on the edges for this live stream, just for the sake of the live stream more than anything, because ideally you want to varnish over the transfer as well to keep it safe. But I'm just going to go straight over the wax, straight over with the wax, so that you can see kind of what it's going to look like, and then so I won't be able to varnish over it. So I thought I better apply at least one coat. So now that I've gone over kind of the whole area a little bit, I'm going to start peeling this paper away, the plastic away. And as you can see, it's peeling away really, really nicely. It looks like this kind of transfer, this is my first time working with like this kind of full background transfer. I usually use the ones that are, you know, more florals and like little bits and pieces. But this one really seems to be coming away like really, really easily. There's like no issues with it sticking or not being burnished enough, which is just, you know, it's lovely. Makes my work a little bit easier. Oh, thanks, Eileen. Yeah, I'm okay too, Nelly, I'm okay. I had a little accident today. I was packing a box, cutting down a box to fit the size of, you know, the package that I need to send. And me being me, the knife slipped a little bit, and so I kind of stabbed myself in the arm with the knife. I'm okay. I did not have to go to A&E or anything, just a plaster, but like it hurts quite a bit. It's okay though. So that's my day. How was your day? Right. Not the nicest thing to happen. Could have been much worse though. So like I think I think all things considered, I came out with like barely anything wrong. And look at this beautiful design. It's so like unusual, because usually like I tend to work with more, you know, traditional designs, and I like flowers, and I like darker themes and everything, but I don't usually do more like industrial, which you know, what can be more industrial than like blueprints. So there is a little bit that does not want to peel off, so I'm going to peel it away. And see how where the bit peeled off, it's super thin. It's like, that's what the transfer is. It's like just super thin sticky film. Right, okay, so the transfer is on, as you can see, and I was like, it's great like that. I really like this because it's like, it's even easier than decoupage in this case. So I need to get my little sanding block out quickly. So I just have a sanding block. You can use sanding paper as well. Oh, and if you wanted to, you could save, like right now I could still like salvage like pieces. If I wanted to use these little bits for something else, something little, I could just place the white backing back onto it, and I'm sure it would still be okay. So I'm just going to put it on the floor. Been super busy prepping for this weekend's art convention. Oh wow, you're back at doing them now. That's super cool. Have you done many yet, or is this like your first one since? I don't know. I've not been to like a craft show or anything since the whole thing started. So it's gonna be so weird. Right, so I just lightly sanded the edges, and it cleans up super easy, which is nice. I need to keep mindful of the other side, not spin it too much so that it doesn't get damaged on the other side while I'm spinning it every which way. Yeah, Claire, today was an adventure. This is my second show so far this year. Oh, okay. At least it must have been weird going back to it, right? Like the first one must have been weird. Second show is not so bad. Right, okay, so next up we're gonna do the stamping. So as you can see, I've already got the stamp out because I've been doing some stamping. So basically, this is what the stamp looks like. It's called Stripes. Again, redesigned with Prima, and so this is what like the full stamp looks like. So obviously I've already taken off number 1, 2, and the top stripes, but then so this is what it looks like. You get like 2 separate stamps with different size stripes. So I chose this one, and I just chose this outer edge just so that it's then easier for me to like stamp it on. And I am going to use Decor ink pad in white to put some ink on my stamp. You can also use paint for this. It doesn't have to be ink. And so hopefully you can still see what I'm doing here. So I'm just gonna put some ink on this side, and I'm just using the other bit of the thing that the stamps come on to kind of protect my table from the ink. So I've stamped some on, and then I'm gonna place my stamp over the edge of where the transfer ends. So I'm just kind of going over that halo bit that all transfers have on the outside. Definitely was, yeah, I can imagine. Must have been pretty scary. well, it's like going there for the first time, I imagine. Okay, so this is what the stamp looks like now, and then so I'm gonna put another one on the other side. Bring it over, and I kind of dangle myself over it so that I can get the stamp in place. And then I just press it down. If you have an acrylic block or something like that, then you can use that instead. Or my friend Claire, who's in the comments, she made me some acetate sheets for this, and I could really use I don't know why I didn't get them out. I'm still getting used to using them, that's why. Oh, got a little bit of ink there. Right, so that's kind of what we're doing with the outside, at least for now. This is what I don't know what else to add here at the moment other than dark wax later. So now I'm just going to show you how to do the front drawers, or how I do the front drawers. So as you can see, I've already used the number 1 and the 2 out of the stamp set, and I just thought, you know, I have this stamp, and out of all of the times that I will possibly get to use it, because I don't usually utilize these kind of things, they're not particularly like something that I gravitate towards on a normal day. I thought this is my perfect opportunity to use this stamp. So I'm going to pull out the drawers, and this is what I did with the first 2. So I pull out 2 of the drawers because the stamp itself is wide enough to go over 2 at the same time, so you may as well do 2 of them at the same time. And then again, I just stamp on some ink onto my stamp, and I'm just gonna go over this little stamp bit that is like right next to it, the little stripe next to it, to clean it up so that it doesn't transfer onto the sides as much. So again, I try to line these up as much as I can, and then I try and place this kind of in the middle of the edge of the checks that are painted on. Oh, thank you, Eileen. And I just press it down with my fingers. And ta-da, we have another 2 stripes. So I'll just place them here for the time being and get the other 2 drawers out. It's very quick as well, surprisingly, because usually stuff that I do it's not that quick, but like this is nice. It's nice to do something a little bit different every now and then, you know. It keeps you learning new things and keeps it interesting as well, because if you're always sticking to the same style, if you're always sticking to the same thing that you usually do, you get complacent and then you stop learning. Okay, so I'm gonna place this over again. I press down with my fingers. We've got this stripe, and now I'm gonna set this to the side, and I'm gonna get my numbers out. It doesn't really matter which way around they go, because they all fit into the slots, so it doesn't really matter which way around, but I'll just do them in the order that I started them. So I'm going to do 3 and 4. I think these kind of drawers are also like really I don't know, could maybe hopefully be a good inspiration for more masculine projects. something that maybe you might want to make for somebody that isn't necessarily into flowers and birds and stuff like that, and swirls. So this could be, I don't know, I'm hoping this might be an inspiration for you. Oh, that flew away from me. So number 3 is on. I just had to double check with myself if I placed it the right way around. That would have been awkward if I placed it the wrong way around. So now I'm going to stamp on number 4. And I'm trying to place it in the middle, trying to leave more or less even gap from the top and the bottom, but again, it's not an exact science, so it doesn't have to be super precise. So number 4 is on. So here you can see the difference. I've added the black wax on the edges on these 2 drawers, and then there's no black wax on these 2, and they don't look as like rustic and as finished as the top 2, which I must say, like, using black wax is definitely one of my favorite techniques just ever. I use it on everything. Literally every project gets a little bit of black wax. Hi Christiana, how are you? Good to see you. Let's place number 5 on. And then number 6. Pop it on in the middle, press it down, and then remove it, and there you go. So that's kind of all of the stamping that I wanted to do at the moment. I don't know, for today definitely, I think. So that's, and look at how quick that came together. So I only had 1 and 2 done, and then this side done before I started the live stream, and so now we have both sides done and all of the things stamped on. So yeah, really quick, which I like quick a lot of the time, which doesn't happen very often for me. I don't know what to do with this top bit yet. I want to add something, but I haven't figured it out yet. So I don't know. If you have any suggestions, then let me know. If you have any ideas, I don't know, maybe I should do like just stripes around the edges or something. I don't know. Hi Lynette, thank you. Right, so now we need to add the black wax. So this is the black wax that I usually use. It's black patinated wax from a brand called Liberon. And it comes in this big tin. So I open it up. This is what it looks like on the inside. It's very, very dark. And then what I do is, so here's what I would suggest that you do if you wanted to make a set of drawers like that, right? You can do everything up to this point and then varnish everything. So wait for your stamping ink or paint to dry, and then apply several coats of water-based varnish, just to protect all of your ink and all of your transfers and everything. So due to the fact that I'm doing a live stream and I don't really have the time to apply the varnish and sit here and wait for it to dry and then move on to the next step, and I want to show you a little bit more than what I just did. So due to the fact that I don't have as much time, I'm just going to move on to the next step. So I take a cloth, wrap it around my finger, and then I use my finger to go over the edges. You can tilt it as well if you need to, so I'm gonna just kind of rest it on my tummy and I go over the edges, and it creates this really cool looking vignette around the outside edges. And you can go over the transfer as well, so obviously ideally it needs to be varnished beforehand, just to protect it from any like scratches or anything like that that may occur in the future. This is what I'm doing, and I kind of just use my finger to make like tiny little circles around the bottom to give it that like really faded look. Oh, hi Evelyn, how are you? Hi Sam, how are you? The difference the dark wax makes is amazing, right? I don't think I can create a project without some kind of aging technique, whether it be paints or crackles or wax, but like wax has got to be my favorite. At least it has definitely become over the past year or so. I can't seem to create a project without it, and so we're just getting these nice faded edges. So that's one side, and that's the other side. And then for the drawers, I take the drawer out and I basically do the same thing. Kind of rub my finger against the edge and I gently go over the edge to try and fade it out like this. So I'll probably do another drawer just to make sure that you've seen everything that I'm doing, and then I'll kind of show you the next step, because I thought that after I've done all of the waxing, you know what's going to look really good on here? The occasional added Finnabar's mechanical gear. That sentence did not make sense, but I'll I'll show you what I mean in a second. I think I've got that wax somewhere here buried. I need to dig it out. You definitely need to dig it out. I'm telling you, once you dig it out and start using it again, you're gonna become addicted. I promise. So I try and keep it in these little circles that I'm doing with my finger. Like, look out, because doing so much of this kind of motion will rub holes in your cloth, and then you get a stained finger from wax. And then you can of course play around with the amount of wax that you want to add and how dark you want it to go. And then if you want to do the edges like that as well, make them a little bit darker. Again, it's like, it's your choice how much of this you want to add. So that's basically the waxing technique, right? So we've added a little bit of a vignette around all of the edges. And then, you know what I think will look really, really good is Finnabair's gears, mechanical gears. So I've picked out a few of the selection that I have. So Finnabair's range does not lack in the amount of gears and different, like, these kind of cool industrial looking things. Oh, also I picked out this one because I just wanted to show that if you don't have a stamp, or for example if you're making something and the stamp may be too big to add like numbers like I did here, Finnabair has mechanicals, so these are like little metal embellishments that also have numbers on them, so you could actually have like little metal numbers on them. So just an FYI here. And then there's also like these kind of little vintage trinkets that you can add that I picked out. Little, oh, one fell on the floor. Oh, look at how cool this one is. So much detail in it. Can you see? The camera's a bit dark. But, so just like add in a couple of different, like one gear on each drawer, I think is going to look pretty cool. And like all in different spots and angles. Or you could, you know, if you had a lot of the same one, then you could mirror them or create some kind of different pattern. But I think that looks pretty cool and pretty cute. So I'm gonna get some heavy body gel, which is just like a really sticky glue, gooey glue. And I'm gonna use a brush, maybe not this brush. I like that brush too much. Where's my other brush? I don't know. I'll use this one. So I'll basically I just pick up some of this gel and I kind of pack it onto my embellishment, and then I decide a placement for where I want that embellishment to go, and I stick it on, and it will seep through on the edges, and you can just clean it up with a brush, and it dries clear, so if there's any bits that you may have missed or anything, that's not a problem because it's going to dry clear. And then apply some more onto here as well. And where should I place this one? Maybe here. And try and clean out as much of the gel as I can. Maybe I'll save this because this one is a little bit silvery, and then so I would have two silver ones on the same level. Maybe I'll save it for when I've waxed the edges of this one, and I'll place them kind of like that at an angle. So place this one, and then we will finish up for today. Of course, you can also like paint these if you wanted to. So if you don't like the color that they are at the moment, you can just apply some primer, so gesso, or a primer for metal or whatever you have on hand, and then paint it or wax it whichever color that you want to have. Alrighty, so you get the idea of what it's looking like, and then I just need to add something onto the other three drawers and figure out something for the top. I don't know what yet, but I'm sure it'll come to me. So there you go. Thank you so much for joining for this little mini live stream, and I hope that I gave you some ideas, inspiration for what you could do for a more like a masculine project. Yeah, thank you so much for joining in, and I'll see you soon. Bye.